Okay, as well, we're creating a main stroke. We also sometimes want to create a cross stroke, and will look nicer when you fill up inside the objects. Normally, when you work with a pen, you may go in one direction, other ones to create a bit more solid look. For this purpose, you can use a cross stroke section as well. It will take position of the stroke based on an angle you specify, currently 45 degrees, and creating cross strokes based from original stroke. So let's look right here. We have similar things in cross-stroke. We have a uniform distribution or lightness by normal. So similar things that we have before that we can specify on a lightness example, input range, mapping, and other. In some cases, you want maybe invert for the cross-stroke, so it will add in the white areas. If you experiment, for example, if we go right here, and let's put our modifier to 5. Quant modifier, again, it will be 0. It will just kind of remove it. But right here, if we have it longer, and you'll notice in white areas, and second when it's updated, we start having those cross strokes. Look right in this area, you can see visible them going 45 degrees right here. And again, they're applied because we map it by the lightness. So let's switch to uniform, so it will apply on across every areas. Okay, and second one is updated. Here you can see right here we have it nice. Again, because we have it a little bit too many of them, almost look like a solid screen, we can reduce this by reducing link range. So let's go ahead and reduce this one by 30, and maybe reduce both quant modifier to 4 so we can see strokes by itself. Also, other options, it's very similar what we have it with the main stroke, with only different, we also have a thickness and angle. So angle is depend what is going against main stroke. If we're going 90 degrees, it should go parallel, and it will go directly from, if this going from one angle, from top right to bottom left, this is go from top left to bottom right, so you can see how they're working. There also this is crosslink. We also have a thickness, and this is calculating from main thickness of main line. So currently 0.5. If we want even lighter, we can 0.2. Remember, most values what we're doing right here, thickness at lightness, it will work from 0 to 1. 0 is black or nothing, and 1 is the highest value. So by manipulating between those values, you can modify thickness in this range. Okay, so right here 1030, so we can actually even says maybe 233 in this case. We'll reduce amount of the strokes, I won't see them better. And we can also remove some of the link reduce of our cross strokes so they don't match. So let's go have it from 5 maybe, and we can go set to so let's go 5 maybe to 10, so we'll have it less cross stroke. Okay, again, in some cases cross-stroke, maybe you don't want to use it when you work with watercoloring or other effects, but again, it's up to your creativity. So I'm going here, switch. Before we switch, you know what, let's put it, for example, 120. Okay, angle, so you can see right here was our cross-stroke going. 120 should a little bit give it us more lines in. Okay, we'll take a little bit second to update it. Okay, under main stroke, we'll find another options, which is have hatch mode, background, and contrast. The hatch mode is referred to what type of the line we use it, and this is actually very important. If you look by currently we have it a long line selected. If we switch to the simple line, our adjustments is kind of change in the type line we're using. And you'll notice opacity modifier right on the bottom is become enabled. The opacity modifier, which allowed us to have it for the opacity for the main stroke, start opacity, end opacity, and cross stroke opacity. So you can modify for those lines opacity if you need it. This is just different way to work with this. Okay, this option does not available for the long lines. And one more line we have it is procedural, which is the most complex and allowed you to most flexibility. So when we enable procedural line, you'll notice we have an edit option is available for us. Let's open this, and right here you'll notice we have all the line options that we usually have it in outline. So we have the same things with the stroke type, color modifiers, thickness, opacity, and the caps. So you can create a very complex type of internal stroke. So for example, we can go easy to select watercolor, add all these options as we did it before, enable, and this will apply to our stroke inside. So this is way we can modify in creating a very nice, very realistic look like a painting with watercolor. So of course we need to modify some of the effects. Let's remove it cross stroke, so we'll just main stroke apply, and you can see right here we have our kind of almost strokes applied. This is very fast editing. If you want to create more as watercolor, you probably want to work a little bit more with color modifiers, thickness, and opacity modifiers to create a very realistic. But the nice things about this, all if you create in your outline watercolor your strokes and you like to use it, you can also open and load it directly in your line options that will apply inside your shaders. So you can reuse some of those line options, which has become very handy. Then also next below this we have it, you notice a background, which is specified for the background color, which we applied right here. And you can see just in some areas if you need applied. And as well we have it increase and decrease contrast. Again, it's going from 0 to 1 the values, where 0 will apply with almost no contrast and 1 will be high contrast. Okay, so let me go ahead, reset our background colors actually to the white. Okay, and I also want to change our line, so let's go to re-edit, go to round marker, just as example, so we can go even 1 on this case. You can see where you use it. Okay, actually I want a longer line to use for this example. Okay, next if you look below we have a thickness, which apply to our thickness of the lines, main lines. And of course, because you're using cross lines, if you're using thickness based from main stroke, this is will also non-directly through the main stroke will affect your cross stroke as well. So we have value of the thickness that we can modify from 0 to 1. Again, you can put it even higher values if you need it. Okay, they also have the options, the custom. The custom will take the thickness value and apply base it on the areas. For example, let's select thickness and I say in a light areas, like right here, I want to use it very light, 0.1. In a dark areas, actually I want to use it higher values. So in this case, I can modify, and you can see in a dark areas versus light areas, we have a different type of the thickness of the stroke. In this case, you can make lighter lines and versus heavier lines. Look right here, it's actually displayed very well. We have a thickness and a heavy thickness in the darker areas. So this way you can modify custom thickness, or you can just use predefined values and let Vue reuse those values to apply for those areas. One more area we have it is a colors, and currently you can see we can apply monocolor. We can select any specific color from the color picker. This way the color will apply to all image. If you want kind of have an overall tone for this, we can have it original render, which will create atmospheric effect. You can see right here we have a decay and a haze color will apply it. Let me disable this for a second. We also have it material colors, which is display based on the material color without applying any atmospheric effect in this case. We also have it custom lightness, which is similar. We'll calculate it options, and you can specify what lightness you want in a dark or in on a light. So for example, let's go put it right here in a 0. So we go very straightforward mapping based on a darker. You can see it's also will increase just slightly contrast in this case. Overall, here is our overview. Kind of, we're going with the shaders, and we can go try in a practice creating some watercolor effect in the next tutorials.